Good day and welcome back to the Family Cyber Clinic. Welcome to the live Q&A for the month of June. And unlike all the live Q&As, I normally plug and put out jingles to tell you about it. I've just done very little. There's so much on, and I didn't get the chance to spread the news, but it is the live Q&A. We have it every last Saturday of the month, and so I'm hoping that the members of the community know that, and again, hopefully that you are looking forward to it. And so if you received a jingle or some sort of update that there was a live Q&A happening today, you would have noted that the subject of our engagement is on parental controls. Now, we've overflogged parental controls on this channel, needless to say, but rightly so. My job is to equip parents to do just enough to keep their kids safe whilst they browse on the internet. And thankfully, some of the vendors, particularly the smartphone vendors like Google and Apple, have parental control features or apps that allow parents to take control, some measure or some sort of control over what their kids do on phones that they have. And then, of course, all the other things that we tend to tell you about how to lock down your own phone if you did get to hand over your phone or your tablet to your young one, so that they don't wander or come across content that is not appropriate for their age. And so that's important, crucially so. But we thought, I don't think I've done any video about features, security features, necessarily on an Android phone. I've made enough noise about the iPhone, and the iPhone is what it is. It's quite useful. It's certainly a tool in my hand, and it served me well over the years. So I do most of my how-to videos using the iPhone. But I'm not sure if you care to let me know in the comments. I'm not sure if that means I'm alienating the Android folks, and you guys are just angry with me that I'm only doing stuff on iPhone. Well, I've been led to start doing stuff on an Android phone, Huawei to be exact. And the idea there is to start creating content for other members that may, by chance, have an Android phone. Hopefully that means the community grows as a result. That's the intention, okay? I just want to capture as many parents out there. And coming to think about it, iPhones are generally quite expensive. I'm not suggesting that you guys are tight, but Samsung phones, a wide range. And so perhaps I've missed a trick here. Okay, well, I'll start creating content for Android phones so that we can, sort of balance things up. You're not just having iPhone folks enjoying the content from this channel. So the focus would be to get you to know how to set parental controls. You don't have to buy any software. You have it on your phone. And so on your Android phone, I'll show you how to enable it and how you can avoid the gotchas. Because by gotchas, I mean, I certainly know that there's one or two parents who have received bills about purchases they know nothing about, only to find out after lots of digging that their young one has unknowingly or knowingly made a purchase via PS4 or via their phone. And I want to help you prevent those things from happening on your Android smartphone. Zachary, you're very welcome. I can see that you are here. Yeah, much love to you. Much love to you. Yeah. Okay, so at least we have a few people turning up now. Just like Zachary, if you're new, just tell us that you're new by putting new in front of your hiya or your hello. And if you have any questions, please feel free to put them also via the comments. All right. And if you are bold enough to join me, you can see the ticker. You can use that URL and jump on, and you're live with me. I'll get you in. I've prepped, ready to receive you. So if you really want to jump on and be live and then ask questions or enjoy this how-to, please feel free to do that. Okay. All right. So I'm going to, because I need to get this out of the way. I found maybe this is why I have not been using the Android phone. Android, I thought there were lots of apps on the Android phone, just like you have on the iPhone, that allows you share your screen, so that you can see what I'm doing on the Android phone. And honestly, I was so disappointed that there was nothing I could find that will allow me share my screen, my Android screen, via this broadcast. Nothing. The closest I found was a software called NDI-HX Camera. And you had to pay £18. 18, yes, you heard me right. £18 to get this Android screen to show up. And it didn't even show up. It only showed the camera. So I can only show you what is on the camera, what the camera is seeing. But I want to share my screen. And there's no app on Android currently. If you feel please put it in the comments. Perhaps I've not exhausted my search, but believe me, I spent a lot of time doing that today and yesterday. In fact, yeah, I'm exhausted. So I don't think there is any app. On the iPhone, however, plug and play. I suppose because I have a Mac, that doesn't help. But not found anything. Not found any application that allows me to do that apart from the ones I've mentioned. And so I'm going to show you how to do this, enable parental controls on an Android phone by actually taking a video of what I'm doing. I've always wondered why I see many videos doing that. Now I understand. And so I've conveniently placed the phone on the table so that we can do that. So I like to get that out of the way because it was a headache. So I'd like to get the how-to part of our broadcast today out of the way so that we can take questions from you that are either related to it or, you know, anything else you want to do and say today. Okay. So I'm going to go to my iPhone, but my iPhone is going to be taking a screenshot or a video of what I'm doing on the table, which is browsing through my Android phone. That's just a mouthful, but you get the idea. Okay. If you're, like I said, if you're on, please let your friends know that we are live. We only do this once a month, and this is the best time to get me live and direct and ask any question. Nothing is off limits. Any question related, actually there's stuff that's off limits, related to internet safety and, you know, shading our kids as they journey on the internet. Okay, so I'm just going to go to my iPhone. Let's see. Okay, so you can see the iPhone is on the table. Yeah, this is just really messy, but I'm just going to make it as good as possible. Okay, so I'm tapping the screen. So this is you enabling parental controls on an Android phone, and you've got to have pretty much the latest operating system for the mobile phone or the smartphone. If it doesn't look the same, then you may either have an out-of-date mobile OS and you would need to update it. Okay, so I'm trying to put this as close as possible, and you see me bending because I'm just making, this is OTT. Okay, so that's me there. So you open to get to the parental control page on your smartphone. You just go open your phone and get to what we will call the desktop and look for Google Play or the Play Store. And you can see me pointing to it there. Let me just make sure I'm doing that. Yeah, that's Play Store. So you click on it. And of course, it will take you to this. You're not searching for apps. You want to go to the settings page. And to do that, the top right, note that you have to be signed in to Google or to your phone to be able to make these changes. So if you don't get what you're seeing on the screen, it means you're not logged in. But traditionally on Android phones, you have to have logged in anyway. So getting to this page will mean that you would have been logged in already. All right. So if you look at the top right, you have what we call an avatar, which is your picture, a little picture, top right, which I'm pointing to there. Okay. You click on it and you go down to settings. When that opens, that page opens, you go down to settings and then you go down to family. Okay. And then you can see the 3 items there. The sign up for family library, parental controls, and parental controls off. So to switch it on, you just click on parental controls. And then you have a toggle or a radio button that you can, click to enable. Now for folk on the platform who I've engaged with, who have purchased family oriented parental control applications, this is not telling you to abandon that, because you'll find that the one you've bought, the one I've recommended, is a lot meatier. It has a lot more features, a lot more granularity. And so don't abandon that. And of course, if your child grows as they would, it's quite possible that you don't need as much granularity, because with parental controls, if you've watched the video on the portal, we generally say that this is not for life. The child will grow and become better and more mature, more responsible, and more importantly, more accountable. And so you have to lessen or reduce the amount of micromanagement. And so with time, you will not need parental control applications because your child gets it. Okay, so that's important. And it's quite possible that you can wean off the purchased version that I've recommended with time. And then you go to this free one because the free one is free. You might as well use it. Okay. And the free one allows you at least to prevent those gotchas with, unknown purchases or accidental purchases that our kids get to do, knowingly or unknowingly. All right. So going back to the screen, I spoke for a little while there and I missed it. But so you have this screen here where you have the toggle. Okay. If you are just joining, you go back to just rewind. If you're watching this on replay, rewind and go back and you find how we got here. But ultimately, I might as well do it. You go to your desktop, okay? Play Store or Google Play. That's where we're clicking. And then top right, the avatar, your icon where you have your profile picture, you click on it and that will bring up a settings page. Scroll down and you see settings just after play points. Okay. And then the fourth item is family. You click on family and you can see parental controls there. Okay. So you click on parental controls and at the moment it's off. I turned it off obviously for this video. You'll want to turn it on. There's only one way. And note that you're doing this on your young one's phone. Okay. You're doing this on your young one's phone. So when you get there, you go to parental controls. Just click the radio button or what we call a toggle. You click on it and it's going to ask you to create a pin. And of course, this pin has to be secure. It can't be 1234 or 0000. Those are the typically easy ones. You need to set a pin. Okay. But I'm going to set one that's easy. But of course, you should do it differently. 1 1 1 1. Okay. Then it's going to ask you to confirm. So you confirm it 1 1 1 1. And okay. So now you have enabled, as you can see, the toggle now is green. Okay, it was gray before. Now that we've enabled it, it should show as green. The screen is quite poor. Based on what I'm doing to try and get this video to you. All right. So once parental controls is on, you can see that there are 4 items in there that you can control. Okay. We are very big on certification, kids watching what they are supposed to watch and not watch overage content, inappropriate content and all that. And so you'll find that there are 4 items there. You have apps and games. You have films, you have TV, and you have books. You can set restrictions on the content I've just mentioned. Those 4 apps and games, films, TV, and books. It goes a long way. Okay, at least you have control. That's why I said that the third-party applications, parental control applications, has more features, but this lightweight version gives you some control. Okay, it helps you to restrict content based on age and all that. So under apps and games, if you click on it, you see that it allows you to watch content that's up to 18 and like you can see on rated content, which is obviously less restrictive and means that it's potentially inappropriate for your kids age. So it allows you to, like it says, PEGI, most restrictive, all the way down to less or least restrictive. All right. So of course, we will want, if your child is under age, let's just assume your child is 5, 6. Don't know why you give a 6-year-old a phone, but the reality is that it does happen. But let's just assume that the child is maybe 8, 9. You can go in and click let's say 7. Okay. It tells you parental controls restrict purchases or downloads from Google Play. Apps and games already installed will still be visible on devices. That's good advice, because that means to get this right, you have to start from scratch. So there can't be any apps that you've installed prior to enabling parental control. So you have to uninstall those applications from your young one's smartphone and then enable parental control. It's only in that envelope, if you like, or on that canvas or background. Can't think of words, but ultimately it's only under those conditions will parental controls work or be effective on all apps on the phone. So do it prior to installing apps. Okay. So we have it tells you that, so we understand, and we say understood. Now we're going to save. So if we save it, what that means is that your young one cannot watch content higher than PEGI 7, and whatever that means. You can Google and find out. But ultimately, that's you restricting what they're able to download or watch from the Play Store or Google Play. Okay? And that's something. It's better than nothing. So if you're not purchasing, at least you are locking down your phone. So if you want to go further, you can see films, and this is a big one. Let's assume this time that your child is 7 and they have a smartphone already. Shocking, but they have a smartphone already. Okay, if they have a smartphone already, then of course you want them to be restricted to what they watch, what movies they're allowed to download. And needless to say, it will be a U that we'll go for. And you there, parental controls restrict purchases or playback of movies from Google Play. Yes, please. You do understood. And so your child can only download and watch U-rated video content from the Play Store or Google Play. All right, you save that, and so that's locked it down. So you can see where we're going, and we can just keep going. TV is the same thing. You go there and you see we could just do the same because it's movies. So we do U and save. So we've locked down that, and if we go to books restricts sexually explicit books. Again, if there are any sexually explicit books on Google Play or Play Store, you can prevent that from being consumed by your young lad or girl. You do understood and then save. So in a few clicks, we've managed to lock down apps and games, films, TV, and books. Okay? And that's pretty much it. There's one more crucial step, and I'll soon get to that. But ultimately, with this I do say it's lightweight, because if you've used Custodio or other apps that we recommend, you find that it goes further and allows you a lot more control over what your young one does. So for out of the box, being able to enable parental controls, it goes a long way. It will certainly prevent some of the gotchas that we've mentioned. So that one crucial step that's left, we go to that, and it's on a different page. All right, so we go back to it's still settings. You have the third one, 1, 2, 3. You have the third one, and it's called authentication. And you'll see why this is important. If we go to authentication, you can see that it gives you an option there. It says require authentication for purchases. All right. For all purchases through Google Play on this device, authentication is required, which means someone, a parent, would have to intervene before any purchases on this device will be made. So if you go there and click require authentication, you can see that at the moment it's set to, for all purchases through Google Play on this device, authentication is required. And so you set it to that. That when we enable parental controls, it did that anyway. But I just wanted to show you so that you get some confidence that accidental purchases are prevented. Okay. So you have, go back there, for all purchases through Google Play on this device. Now, as your young one obviously grows, they may have a job that's bringing in some money, and they may choose to purchase their own devices, or so rather apps or games and things like that. And of course, if it's their phone, you draw a line. At some point, you have to disable parental controls and then let them be, because now you trust them. And we're going to extend our discussion on trust, accountability, and all that as we journey on. Okay. And so it shouldn't come as a surprise that we do have these features on our phones. You know, we've shared videos on how you do this, you know, on Apple or the iPhone. If it's not detailed enough, we'll release another video, but we know we've covered this before. So ultimately, parental control software allows you control on your young one's device when you're not there. Okay, so you set the phone up, because I do know parents who, as a rule, they won't give a phone to a certain child who is a particular age, full stop. Now that can be a good thing if, you know, the child is just not responsible at all, and so giving them a phone just, you know, makes things a lot worse. So I can see how you have a red line that's unmovable. But on this channel, we promote dialogue, we promote communication. And communication is key, because you, the parent who spend the most time with your young one, knows exactly what that young one is about, you know, what they get up to, how responsible they are, their growth and all that. So you know them. And so it's important to not provoke them. You know, the Holy Scriptures actually tell you, do not provoke the child. So do not provoke them by making or laying out blanket rules that are not movable. Because one, you're telling them there's no hope for you. You're going to remain this way. You're going to be stubborn. You're going to be distracted all your life. There's no hope. That is frowned upon on this channel. We want you to dialogue with them. We're not saying that you make them friends, because we're not asking you to befriend them. We're asking you to be the parent. And parenting will demand that you listen. Just as you speak and they listen, you've got to do the same. You know, but there's some things that you may not be told, or the child will not tell you, that you as a parent have to step up and make decisions. Okay? Because you're the parent and they're the child. And so we are not necessarily saying full stop, no blanket rules. As I said, there's a place for that. But we're encouraging that you dialogue with the child and have some, you know, meet them halfway. So, okay, I'll let you have this if you do this. You monitor progress. If they're sticking to their side of the bargain, you keep reducing over time until there's no need for it, because they've proven themselves. And you will know as a parent when your child is playing you, okay? And so we are very keen that you are working, you know, very close with your child, so you know exactly where they are on their journey, okay? So parental control applications are good, but you've got to tweak them based on progress. So if the child is progressing well, you reduce. So for example, if you remember the settings that we applied on the films, the books, the games, let's say you gave them 7, the PEGI 7 rated games. With time, you can move that along so that they get to consume more content because you believe that they've grown and they're mature enough to handle that sort of content. It's the same thing with movies. They're not going to watch you movies all their lives because you movies are you movies. So you may want to step it up with time as they progress and get them, to start consuming maybe 10, 12, just as they grow. You've got to weaken or lessen the restrictions. Don't just keep okay, I don't want you to ever watch any movie that's higher than you. That's bullying. That's not right. It's not right at all. As I said, there may be some young ones who that would fit because they're a special case. But for most children, as they progress, you've got to be less restrictive and grow with them. And you'll find that they will respond better because they see that you are appreciating that they're growing and you're loosening, the chains or the shackles. That's important. Growth and reward. If they grow, you reward them. If they grow, you reward them. If they're maturing and accountable and they're showing responsibility, you reward them. Okay, so it's important. So much so. And I want you to understand that that's what we recommend as a channel. I'm still looking. I can't see any questions coming in. Usually this, as you know, gets archived so you can watch it on replay. And if you have questions related or comments, please engage. Put them in because we want as many parents to benefit from these discussions. Discussions are key for the parent who may have no other person to talk to, no one as candid as we are on this channel. So the more they hear from parents who are either going through the same challenges or wins, that they're succeeding, you share that. And so when we all look at the comments, we can grow and help our young ones accordingly. So that's important. So I'm still waiting for questions. Zachary, don't be shy. And I'm also not forcing you to ask a question. But if you have a related question to setting up parental controls on the Android phone, please feel free to comment. If you want to jump on live, we still have some time with me. I can take you in. All you have to do is click on the link that you can see in the ticker. Actually, you're not clicking on it. You have to type it out. Once you type it out and click on the link you've created, I will admit you into the broadcast. Okay? So prepare your questions. And if there are any unrelated questions that you have that you want me to help shed light on, please also do so. All right? Okay. So we're discussing parental controls. I do know that there are third-party offerings out there that are more granular, but there's a fee, usually a fee. I always say that any amount of money you spend to keep your kids safe on the internet is money well spent. But I'll also show you applications that would do some good that you don't pay for, so that you can see that there are options and you don't always have to pay for stuff. Okay? All right. So come on, ask the questions, and I'm definitely not going to stay longer than I need to. If I find that there's no question coming in, I'll wrap this up. Okay, this was just to help the Android folks to get to enable for free parental controls on their phones if they've not already done that, especially on the phones of their young ones. Okay, good stuff. There's so much going on, and I do have opportunities to engage some of you offline. And I always tell you off when you come to me offline or via WhatsApp, because really I want other parents to gain from our talk. And it just seems a bit wooden if after I've spoken to you, I now try and post what you asked. It defeats the whole engagement ethos that I'm trying to promote on the channel. So please use the comments. Use the comments during and after the broadcast. Use it to engage with me. And of course, I know that some stuff are quite private, and if they are, we really don't have to put that in the public domain. We can fine tune it after the fact, and that's okay. That's okay too. But I just want to engage. I really just want to engage, and I feel that we're not doing that enough. All right? Are people trying to get to me? No, I'm just looking at the phone again because I know people will be doing that on the phone instead of doing it on. I said that was Zachary. It may not be Zachary because he says Zachariah, and I don't call Zachariah. I call him Zachary. So I'm not sure. Zachary, confirm that you're who you are, so that I can. I can get my head right, because at the moment I'm seeing Zachariah as your YouTube handle. YouTube folks, I greet you. We also are broadcasting live to Facebook. If you're on Facebook, don't be shy. Say hi and we'll pick it up from the broadcast too. Yeah. Father's Day was last week here in the UK. Busy as it always is, and thankfully I didn't have to do a live Q&A on that day, but we've gone past Father's Day, and so I wasn't expecting that you guys would be that busy. You're very few who are online right now, so please get busy, ask the questions. Like I said, I'm drawing the line. If by 12:40 in the next 5 minutes I don't get a question, I'll bring this to a close. There's just no need extending it beyond that. Okay. All right. So I hope you're well. I hope you're keeping well. I hope you are growing with your young ones. You're growing. It's not something that's you're not being reactive. It's only when issues occur that you tend to want to engage your young ones. I'm suggesting with all humility that you are proactively engaging with your young ones, that you are finding out how school was, finding out what they're doing, and you're not just allowing them on their phones all day or in front of a screen all day. When they come back from school, they're not engaging. Encourage them to tell you stuff. Okay. Encourage them to tell you stuff. I've seen, and I know that there's so much going on, and at times it's actually quite overbearing for them. We certainly weren't exposed, by we I mean old folks, we weren't exposed to that much content in our time when we were growing up or when we were their age. So we were not bombarded as much as they are. So they're taking in a lot, and the pressure is real. And so they need help. They need support. And so being reactive is not the sort of support we encourage you as a parent to give your young ones, because they need daily nurture. I didn't have the opportunity to do it as much as I would have wanted to. I did appreciably well, but I would have loved to do more. And so you can see where my passion comes from, that I now want you, younger parents and even older ones, to not make the mistakes I made. Allowing them go it alone, believing that they're capable. They really are not capable. Some of them are, but some are not. And we've had live Q&As where we invited a few young folk to talk about their experiences, and they've mentioned their struggles and challenges, and so it's all there. We know that it's not easy, and we will be misleading them by just letting them be, because you don't want to micromanage. There's some micromanagement that's demanded. Demanded. I use that strong word, demanded at a certain age. You shade them, shade. You shade them until a time where they can walk. They can walk, literally walk better, as you've gotten them to a place where they're no longer strangers or novices, And kids can be very erratic, and many mistakes happen. I've just mentioned the case about purchasing, accidental purchases. With a good mind, you've given your young one your phone or your tablet, and they want to buy an application because they can. You've not locked it down, like we've shown you today. And if you've not locked it down, they're gonna purchase. And some of them are not just single purchases. Some of them are concurrent. So you could easily be having $9.99 leave your account every month because your child has inadvertently or knowingly made a purchase for an app or a game, a book, a film, and you're paying a subscription or some sort of payment, $9.99, and the vendor is not going to pay you. Well, depends on timing. Google it definitely. If you bought an application today and requested a refund that same day or same time frame, they will know it's accidental. Not after you've played the game for 4 months and 5 months, then you you come back. As I said, some of these purchases, because some of us are very rich, you may not know that $9.99 is leaving your account. I know a parent who's had that amount of money leave the account for 2 years. 2 years. And kept seeing it, but didn't think much of it. It turned out it was a game subscription. Yeah. The child got onto the game and enjoyed the game for 2 years. So if you want to avoid that, it is quite crucial that you are proactively engaging your young one and making sure that they are in the know, that they understand what they're doing. And if you have any doubts that they don't know what they're doing, then you set parental controls on their phone. Okay. All right. Like I said, it's 12:40. No questions. Means everyone who is on the platform right now as I do this live broadcast is happy. Happy to have had you with me for the few minutes that we've been able to do today. I will urge you to post broadcasts. If you have questions, if questions just jump out after this broadcast, please ask those questions. Share this content with your friends and family and ask them, also to engage by putting comments post broadcast. Okay. All right. So we never like leaving our broadcast without giving you an opportunity to become a part of our family. We exist to assist you, parents and child alike. We just want you to, have the best time as you browse the internet. We do have a lot of videos, over 150 videos. They're all there on the portal. And we want you to, be a part of this channel by subscribing. Subscription is important. And I always feel bad when I have to demand that you subscribe. Subscribe because I need you. The more of you that are on the platform, the better this channel is. And we get recommended by YouTube to other families like you. If you don't subscribe and you're just a casual passerby, then it doesn't really help us. So, but I know that the same way I'm giving of myself and time, that you would, at the least, become a part of the family. And you pay absolutely nothing All you have to do is click the subscribe button and you become a part of this family. And make sure that you put a tick, on the notification message that pops up after you subscribe, so that you get notifications about content that we release every week and this live Q&A that we do on the last Saturday of every month. Okay? It's nice having you, and I'm looking forward to engaging with you post this broadcast. I've been your host, Lawrence Edem. Until next week when we start the weekly schedule, God bless and goodbye.